Hi, my name is Jessica Monroe, and today I'm going to talk to you about the high cost of youth sports and whether or not youth sports cost too much money. I recently did a survey and it found that over 72% of parents pay more than $100 per year per child for their kids to play sports. Of those same families, 40.91%, so almost 41%, state they're paying over $200 a year for each child to play sports. So if you have a family of maybe 4 or 5 kids, you might be looking at $800, $1,000, or even more than that for your children to participate in sports. In a recent survey from Utah State University, they're saying that parents are spending as much as 10% of their income for their children to play sports. Granted, this isn't just league fees. It includes camps, equipment, you have travel, training, different things like that. They're saying some of the top spending parents are spending $20,000 just for their kids to play sports. That's astronomical, and most parents don't have that kind of money. I know just to put my kid in swimming, the first session is $500, and then another session is $200 and $300, and there's 4 sessions a year. So I'd be easily looking for one sport for my kid to be involved in. It was going to be $1,000. Unfortunately, despite how much he likes swimming, it's just not something that's feasible. Everybody that I've surveyed, they definitely agree that sports are beneficial to children. According to our local YMCA, they say that sports build self-esteem and confidence. They teach different skills like social skills, physical skills, and then leadership skills. They also help strengthen the family. Another question is, does the high cost of sports prevent minorities from participating? You know, you immediately want to say no, but the fact is that whites and Asians are still making more money. Men are making more money than women. We have houses that have both mom and dad, and maybe they have 2 incomes versus someone with 1 income, which prevents kids from playing. Definitely the diversity in income and the difference between what races are earning is going to cause minorities not to be able to participate. With that causes some lower income children to get cut out of sports. 61% of respondents in a survey that was conducted by the University of C.S. Mott Children's Hospital, 61% of those respondents said that they're paying for their kids to participate in middle school and high school sports. This has led to participation to fall. Unfortunately, if you don't have the money for your kid to participate, you're not going to be able to put them in it. School districts are making cuts, which is causing sports fees to go up. Their athletic budgets aren't covering the cost of those fees, so in order to make ends meet, they're going to have to implement different fees. So 12% of parents overall said the cost of school sports has caused them to drop their child from participating. Unfortunately, like I said, if there's no money, you're not participating. There's different waivers, but only 6% received a waiver for pay to play sports. That's too low considering I know there's several schools just in my district that I live in alone that are 100% free and reduced lunch. There's schools around here that don't even have to fill out paperwork for kids to get free or reduced lunch because the school is so high on poverty, they just don't do it. So do you think that playing sports early has an advantage? With that, I did that survey with the parents. 81.82% of those parents think that youth who are unable to play sports as a child are disadvantaged once they're trying to play sports in high school or middle school. This might be because some of this basic skills, whether it's basketball, you're dribbling a ball, you're shooting free throws, you're learning to guard, you're learning all the different rules. That's something that you build up on and you learn over time and you improve on those skills. If you're not active in those sports, unfortunately, you're going to fall behind and you might not get as much playing time once you hit high school or even middle school. With the survey that I did, 90.91% of the parents thought that there should be assistance to cover the cost of youth sports. However, only 68.18% of those parents surveyed through youth sports, they cost too much. They thought they definitely cost too much, and yet only 63.6% of those parents know of any programs that are going to be able to help underprivileged youth. So there's definitely a need where we feel like there should be programs. However, people just don't know where to go. That could be it's not advertised, or it just could be those programs don't exist, unfortunately. So what kind of solutions do we have that we can help step up and solve this problem? sports leagues, different schools, they can have financial support or fee waivers, which is great for low-income families. But where do those organizations get the money? Obviously, we know school boards are making cuts. The money's just not there. There's different grants that we need to start looking in as a community. What type of grants can we apply for and qualify so our students have access to that? Cities possibly could offer recreational sports that are free of charge so the kids can be active in the sports and the parents don't have to pay for it. I know certain events that are a little bit more expensive, they do fundraising for, and that might just be specific trips for like the dance squad. I know with hockey, they do different fundraising, whether it's selling wreaths. That's something that I feel like all associations should be looking into to help cover those costs. Although I know that we do have some assistance programs, those assistance programs are not going to allow all students to participate. The fact is, on paper, someone might look like they make a lot of money, but realistically, maybe they have, a high house payment they're not able to get out of. Maybe their car, broke and they got stuck on high interest, car payment, and they're just barely making ends meet, and they're maybe going to a food pantry to feed their family. So they're choosing what is more important, and unfortunately, survival is going to be more important than physically putting their kids in sports. So I'd love to hear anybody's opinions that you guys have regarding whether sports costs are just too high. Unfortunately for me as a parent, I can definitely relate that the cost is too high, and we need to find better programs and ways to make sure all families can afford it. Thanks.